What's cracking, guys? Omar Isaf here. By the time you see this video, I am on vacation, but I got some great guests for this channel. I consulted some of the people that I highly respect when it comes to training, when it comes to strength, when it's, basically comes to trying to get better at this weightlifting game. So, I got a very cool video today featuring two tremendously strong individuals. We got Brett Gibbs and Josh Hancott. Brett Gibbs recently, first of all, he's a world champion, IPF, to depth on that squat, but also recently in the gym, he totaled, I think it was 1823 at 180 some odd pounds. Raw! Right, no reps. Freaky lifter. But what's really cool in this video is rather than talk about, how to bench, how to squat, how to deadlift, they're going to talk about their favorite mobility and warm-up techniques they utilize for the squat and deadlift. And you're going to notice it's a little different than what I recommend, right? Because I think that mobility is related to specificity, right? Mobility is related to specificity, what you're doing in your sport. So they got the low bar squat, they got the deadlifts. Their warm-up routine is different than mine, and I think you could take away some really cool nuggets from this video. So make sure to like this damn video. They took the time. These guys can lift some insane weights with good technique, good form. You should listen to them. Check out their channels. The link is going to be in the description.
What's up, guys? My name is Josh Hancott. I'm a 74 kilo powerlifter from St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada.
I'm Brett Gibbs. I'm an 83 kg powerlifter from Wellington, New Zealand.
Today we're going to be talking about mobility and the exercises that we actually enforce before we actually get into the squat rack, bench press, or the deadlift.
Yeah. Now, some of the main reasons we want to get these across today, it's been some of my biggest improvement through my lifts is incorporating these drills before we actually get under any weight, before we pick up any weight. It's gone a long way to help with injury prevention.
So Brett, what is in your gym bag if you're going to do mobility work?
Okay, so for every session, these are always in my bag. I've always come prepared for every session. Okay, so just have a look at my my bag here. So I've obviously just got some chalk on my powerlifter. This is obviously essential. Now what we've got here, we've got the different tension bands here. So these are used for different exercises that we do. Some require more tension, some require less tension. So we just want to have a bit of a range here. These are very, very easy to pick up, very common, and you can tie these to a lot of things. Here we've got one with a handle on it. So I use this for isolation with external rotation. That's the main reason I use that, just for shoulder health. And we've got a soft ball here. We can use that to get into some tight areas through the back and through the chest in particular for me. We've got a rolling stick. We can use that. I mainly use that just for the calves, quads and hamstrings. Okay, that's very, very handy, very portable. You can put that in your bag when you're traveling. And got a camera in here, some anti-inflam. Pretty much that's what I use, that's what I have in my gym bag every day. And then depending on what I'm doing, I add my knee sleeves, my elbow sleeves, things like that. But that's the essentials we need for today. So let's take a look at how we actually incorporate these into getting us ready for our session. Okay, so one of the first things I'm going to show you, this is, you can see here, this is sort of like a medium type band. It's got a little bit weaker over time. And this is the first band we're going to incorporate in our first drill, okay? So what me and Josh have found is sometimes, when we increase our frequency on a squat, so say we're squatting now 2, 3, 4 times a week, myself personally, and Josh I know has had it himself as well, is getting some quite adductors. So what we do is when we're warming up, if we haven't incorporated these drills, we'll notice our first squat we're getting quite a bit of knee movement, either pulling in, we don't really want to open the hips up, and we don't externally rotate to our knees. So basically what we do is we load our lumbar spine up, so we're really losing activation through our glutes. So one way we can do that by opening up our hips, making it a lot easier before we even get into a squatting motion, is using this band, like I said. So the first thing we're going to do is tie it up with something nice and stable that's not going to move, because we're going to apply a bit of pressure to it. Okay? So nice easy way to do that, you can either just put it straight over the pole like that. Sometimes you may not be able to do this because this pole might go straight up to something else, so there's another way to easily do that. It's pretty much just to wrap it around, just like that, and feed that through, okay? So we're going to pull that down. It's going to be around mid-thigh height. It's not going to be too high, okay? We sort of want to pulling us straight back. And what we're going to do is we're going to work on one side at a time, okay? So what are we going to do here, Josh? Okay, so we're going to put one leg through, and it doesn't matter which side we start with, obviously. Now we're going to make sure this is right up in the groin, okay? Now as high as we can go. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do now, we're just going to stand forward and we're going to apply a bit of pressure to it, okay? So what I'm going to get you to do, Josh. Okay, so if you want to go to your left, here.
Yep.
Yep, now walk forward. Yep, so apply a bit of pressure. Now I want you to get down into a sort of a squatting position, but I want to have that where the band is, so your left leg, I want that to be your leading foot. So when you almost lunge over, get into that lunging position. Okay. Now you got a bit of tension through there?
Yep.
Okay, now what I want you to think about doing is just moving the knee out over the toe. So we're just going to get the groin nice and open. Yep, just like that. You can either push with your hand or you can apply a bit of pressure through your elbows, just like that. See how that's creating a good bit of external rotation there, opening up the hips.
What about my chest here?
Okay, so the chest position there, so you can see he's got a bit of forward lean. We're going to play around with that. So what we can do is he can lower his chest down, so go even lower. Yep, and bring your chest down. Yep, and come back up. Right up, right up. Yep, so we're just going to play around with these positions here, okay? We're going to really loosen everything up. Okay?
Yep.
Alright, now we can probably do this for about, it depends on your mobility necessity, but we can go anywhere from sort of 30 seconds to 3 minutes. Each side has been pretty good. It depends how grueling you want to get with your warm-ups. Okay? So Josh's going to play around with that side just for a moment. Keep going. Now I want you to close the hip right off, so bring that knee right in, rotate the other way, yep, and then spread right out and open up completely the other way. Yep. Okay, cool. And what I want you to do is just release the tension a bit, and I want you to stand up. Okay, cool. So now what I'm going to do is just take that right off your leg. And what I want you to do, just think about doing like a stiff-legged deadlift, and just see if you can notice any change through your hamstring. So your left side's, how's that feeling? Is it a lot looser?
Way looser, yeah.
Yeah, way looser. Okay, so we're ready for movement now.
Yep.
Okay, so now we're going to do the exact same on the other side.
So what's the next exercise you do?
Okay, so now that we're in the gym, we've seen Josh, he's gone through, he's started to open up his hips, he's a bit more free, so he's taking a bit of pressure out of his lower back. We know that we're about to get working, we're opening up the hips, we're going to think about our hamstrings and our glutes. So now that we know we can actually open up our hips, we want to make sure our glutes are going to be firing. So the next exercise I'd like to do, it's a little bit similar to the hip circle, but it's a lot more versatile for anyone, for you guys out there. We're just thinking about a band, so these are quite common. One of the best ways to do it, I find, is grab a sort of medium to light band, depending on your size and strength. And basically what I do is I almost just fold it in half, just like this, okay? Okay, so we'll be left with this. And what I want to do now is I'm going to use this, put that right through here. Okay, now I can hold this through, so if you look at from the back here.
Yep.
Oh, I put it the wrong way. Just here, so at the front we're just below the knee, and if you look at the back here, I can create the tension here, okay? So I'm going to stand with my feet close together, just like this, just below the knee. Okay, and I'm going to pull this up here like that. Now our first motion here, I'm just going to separate my feet, okay? And I'm thinking about driving my knees out over my toes here, okay? So just making sure they're actually staying out. And this is teaching me right now to turn my glutes on, okay? I can feel my glutes under tension right now because I have to hold this force out. Okay, now all I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and start making probably 12 steps this way and 12 steps back, just to really get my glutes firing. Okay, ready for today's work. Okay, so I do that just like that, and I concentrate on each step. I'm really actually opening up the hips, okay? So this is crucial. You notice when I'm coming through, I'm not replacing my foot here, okay? I want to keep the tension on the glute. So when I'm coming through, I know I've got to slow down, and then actually get back out again, okay? So this maintains tension throughout the whole motion.
Take big steps as possible.
You're not really trying to overreach, not trying to overstep. It's just the sort of standard step, but you're just making sure you're utilising on actually pushing out and using the tension on the band, okay? Now you want to make sure it stays in the same place. If it starts getting too high, like I've seen a lot of people do when using this exercise, gets too high up here, the demand for the range of motion is not there. So basically you'd have to have this too tight here, and it wouldn't be to the same effect. It's easier to have it a bit lower because it's going to spread even wider, so your glute's going to have to work a little bit harder. Okay, so that's generally the second part of our mobility warm-up. This one in particular is more or less for a squat day, okay?
So after those two drills, after the abductors are warmed up and the glutes are firing, the last thing I like to do before I actually get in the squat rack is a banded squat. The reason is because it's then teaching the motor patterns and it's getting me used to the movement I'm actually going to be performing without actually having a barbell on my back yet. Demonstrate that now. Hook the band right underneath your glutes here. I'll show you.
Loving the glutes. The girls are going to love this video.
Sometimes it's easier too if you actually hold the weight out in front of you, but I just normally just hold my hands there.
Yeah.
Straight down.
So it's in a nice controlled manner. Before we get our spine under any load, our bodies now knows, right, we're about to get into a squat session today. So we're starting to fire. Right guys, so the last one for today is, this one's a bit more specific for the deadlift, okay? And more importantly, generally a conventional deadlifter. This exercise here has been actually one of the key improvements that I've made in my deadlift, all the way from the floor through to lockout. It's teaching me how to use my glutes, all the way through locking out, getting rid of that excess, I guess, flexion or extension through the through the lockout at the top of the deadlift, so really teaching me how to squeeze my glutes, okay? So all we're doing is something similar again. You can just set up just like your squat, okay? And this again, this is sort of a medium band, and what I like to do is I like to do one side at a time, so just like the squat, just like the first one, gonna get that right up in the groin, okay, right up in here. Now we're going to walk forward to a point where we have a slight forward lean, okay? So if you just want to come around the side, Josh. Yep. You'll see that. So I'm not able to stand just straight upright. I've actually got to come forward and just slightly lean forward, okay? Now right here, you want to think about actually squeezing these glutes, okay? And all I'm going to do is think about the deadlift movement, okay? So I'm thinking about almost like a stiff-legged deadlift, but I've got the resistance of the band. And I've got to make sure to get my hips back and under me, I've got to really squeeze my glutes and come through firing, okay? And once again, really thinking about making a conscious effort to squeeze your glutes.
How many reps do you normally do?
I normally do anywhere from 6 to sort of 15 each side. It depends on how training's been, how my body's feeling.
Yep.
But this one here, I highly recommend. If you haven't tried that one before, give it a go before all of your deadlift sessions, especially for all your conventional pullers. You'll notice a huge difference in the way you perform that day. And I guarantee if you can incorporate these exercises into your warm-up, into your mobility, then you're going to have sore glutes, sore hamstrings for days. If you haven't been activating these before. Alright guys, that's the video. I'm Brett Gibbs.
I'm Josh Hancott.
Thank you so much to Omar for having us on your channel. It really means a lot to both of us. Hope you guys like this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends, and let us know in the comments below, once you guys have tried these exercises out, what you guys think of them, how you feel, and let us know if you guys have used these before and what you think of them as well. Thanks again.
Thanks guys.
That's it, guys. That's the video. If you want to see more content featuring Brett and Josh Hancott, make sure to like the damn video, leave a comment below, subscribe to their channels. Link is going to be in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be seeing all you guys, my rascals, in that next video. Peace.